Hey, welcome to the series of everything you need to know about Python in simplest possible way. In our previous videos, we have discussed some of the important concepts regarding tuples, right? So in this video, we will be discussing one more important concept regarding tuples, which is nothing but tuple comprehension. So in our previous video, while discussing list, we have discussed this particular list comprehension, right? So in the similar fashion, we will be having the tuple comprehension also, but there is a difference. Watch the video till the end, you can able to understand more clearly about this particular tuple comprehension. So in the list comprehension, we can solve some of the problem without having the list comprehensions using for loop, right? So here we cannot solve some of the problems without having the tuple comprehension. So let us go ahead and understand how it is. Let's say I have some requirement. Let's say I will give some number. So based on the user input, user given number, we need to generate the range of values from 1 to whatever the number user giving. So in all of these numbers, we need to generate inside of a tuple itself. Let's say we need to generate inside of a list. There we can use a for loop. By using append method, we can append all the elements using for loop, right? When we have list, but when we have tuple, we cannot do that because tuple is immutable. When once you create an empty tuple, you cannot modify the data inside of a tuple, right? So because of that reason, tuple comprehension having lot more importance than list comprehension, because we can generate the tuple within the tuple itself, right? So let us go ahead and understand how we can solve this particular problem what I have mentioned just now using tuple comprehension. So for that, we need to have a user input, right? So I'm taking this particular number. So I will take this particular number from user input. So I will ask enter number here. So I'm taking this particular number from the user. So now what we have discussed, we need to generate a tuple. So with the range of values from 1 to till this particular number. So for that reason, I will take a tuple, which is nothing but num tuple here. So I'm taking this particular, instead of num tuple, I will take range tuple. So it's just a name, just a variable, right? So don't worry about that. So understand this particular tuple comprehension, understand carefully. So here we know that by using this particular braces, we will be representing the tuple elements, right? So I will be performing some operations inside of this particular braces so that we can able to generate a tuple. So for that, what I will be doing is that we need to iterate through elements, right? So to do that, we will be using a range function and by using for loop. So for element in range, so we need to generate range of values from 1 to till this particular number plus 1. So by mentioning number plus 1, we can stop at this particular number, right? So that is what I'm doing. So I'm just using a for loop in the inside of this particular braces. So after that, we know by using that this particular statement, we can able to generate the range of values from 1 to till this particular number, right? So now I will simply mention this particular element before this particular loop here. So I am mentioning this particular element here. So after that, I will just print this particular range tuple. So now if I execute this, so it was asking me to enter a number. So I will give, let's say, I will give a simple number 5 here. So it was generating a generator object here. So we have seen by simply mentioning the square braces, we can able to get the list comprehension. But that is not case with the tuple comprehension. In order to get the exact tuple, we need to add one more thing here, which is nothing but this particular tuple method. So we have seen in our previous videos, by mentioning this particular tuple and by passing an iterable inside of this particular tuple, we can able to generate a tuple with the elements, right? So that is what here also we need to do. We need to mention this particular tuple, and inside of this particular tuple, we need to use this particular list tuple comprehension. So now if I execute this, let's say I will give same number 5 here, and now you can see the elements that we are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can able to understand simply here by simply mentioning this particular statement inside of this particular method, we can able to generate all of these elements, right? So that is not the case with the general for loop. We cannot modify the elements one we have created, right? So I hope you can able to understand what I am speaking with regarding of list comprehension and tuple comprehension. So to understand more clearly about comprehension of creating elements inside of a iterable, watch the video about list comprehension also, so that you can able to understand more clearly. So now I will give one more example to understand this particular concept of tuple comprehension clearly. So let's say we need to generate the range of values, and in that range of values we need to have all the elements which are of even. So how we can do that? So I will take this particular same input here. So I will mention here. So after that, what I will be doing is that, so I will take this particular even num here. So understand carefully, I am mentioning this particular tuple here, and inside of this particular tuple method only, we will be doing whatever the modification, whatever the values we need to generate. So we don't know what values we need to generate, but we need to generate the values within this particular method itself. So for that reason, what I will be doing is that we need to generate the range of values, right? So that is the first condition. So for that reason, I am taking this particular for element in range. So from 1 till how many number of we have value plus 1. So after that, we have one more condition, right? And the condition is we need to generate only positive number, only what I said, even numbers, right? So for that, we need to mention a condition. Here we are mentioning this particular loop. So after this particular loop, we can able to mention a condition here. So here I am mentioning condition if this particular element modulo divisible by 2 and equal to 0. So this particular condition is nothing but checking a particular element is divisible by 2, which is nothing but even number, right? So if it is even number, it will be exactly divisible by 2 and we will get the remainder. So that is what I am checking here, and I will paste this particular element at the beginning of the loop itself. So I am taking here, and by this you can able to understand whatever the code you wanted to write. So if you wanted to write, this will be having more number of lines, right? So we can concise all of that code in the single line itself, and we can able to generate the values in the tuple. So I hope you can able to understand. So now I will simply print this particular even num here. So I am mentioning even num. So now if I execute this, so it was asking me to enter number. Let's say if I give 5 here and we are getting 2, 4. So these are the only values that we have in the range of 5, right? So 2, 4 are the only even numbers. Let's say if I give one more number, let's say I will give 100 here. So we can able to see we are getting all the values which are even values from 1 to 100. So I hope you can able to understand. By this we can able, by this simple logic, we can able to generate the elements inside of a tuple. So I hope you can able to understand its importance. So if you found this video interesting, hit the like button. In the next video, we will be seeing some of the important methods that we can handle with tuples. So thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one. So to stay updated with my latest videos, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notifications to all. So see you in the next one.